Did you guys not hear me? I don't think you guys did. But, yeah, what is up, you guys? It is your boy, Brent Biggers here, and welcome to another video. And today's video, we are going to be talking about, or actually just doing, the Titans rebuild. Now, the Titans are quite an interesting point. You what? Who cares? But anyway, the Titans... Yeah, what's up? The Titans are in a very interesting point in their franchise. Yes, I would like to have long term with Tyrese Spears, who are one of the rookies into this team. But the one thing I did think was interesting about this team is this team is either going to be a playoff contending team, or, which this is going to be what I'm going to have in real life. Well, this could also again happen in real life. You never know. It's will this, or this team will be stuck in a rebuild where it should have rebuild sooner. Sooner, I mean, not sooner. Sooner. Okay. Well, you know what? Whatever. But to take a look at this team, there is not a lot of young talent that they have to look forward to. Like, Tyron Spears is a potential talent, and I think he's way higher rated than he is. Treylon Burks, there's potential with him. Same thing with their tight end. I also like the draft that they had, especially getting Peter Skoronski. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, get a receiver, Well, you got DeAndre Hopkins 2 months later. I don't think you're going to complain. But I do think getting Peter Skoronski was so much better than actually taking like JSN or somebody, even if all the receivers are available and they're choosy. Then defense. This defense is going to have a painful experience. All of these players are either old players that are good or above, or they're young and they're not really that good. The only player that is really like a decent young age is Jeffrey Simmons, and he's 26 years old. That's a yikes for this team. Alright. But yeah, like this team is going to have some growing pains through the rebuild, and what we're going to be doing is just go trade some players. I mean, I don't know why this team didn't decide to start the rebuild already, but who cares? Ryan Tannehill is the first building block we are going to let go. Hopefully we could get, like, something for Ryan Tannehill. I mean, I feel like we could. Yeah, so it seems like we could maybe get, like, I don't know, second round pick. But I want to see, could I potentially get a first round pick from a needy QB team? Like the Falcons? Or... Okay, there are just not a lot of teams that have no cap space, which I think is oddly interesting. You know what? Let's try to trade it from our rivals in Houston Texans. Okay, so we're like halfway there from getting the Browns' first round pick. But honestly, we don't really need a first round pick. So what I could do is this. Second round pick, right? Fifth round pick. And let's go get, like... Noah Sewell. Let's see if this works. Okay, so the trade is almost accepted, but Honestly, what if I get rid of Noah Sewell and changed it into Eddie Jackson? I mean, they do probably want to get rid of him. No, apparently they don't want to. Okay. How about I turn this fifth into a fourth? Alright. A second and a fourth round pick this year for exchange of Ryan Tannehill. Honestly, I think it was pretty worth it because, well, it's Ryan Tannehill, so I think it's worth. Like, if I'm getting a second and a fourth for Ryan Tannehill, I think it's worth it. Now, one of the more bigger one of these trades is how much am I going to get Deshaun, or well, not Deshaun, DeAndre Hopkins for? His contract isn't that bad, especially for DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm really curious to see how much could I get for him. Let's see here, the Bills. Conference rivals. I would like 2 first-round picks and a second next year. Okay, so that's not enough, but well, we're certainly getting there. You know what I might do is kind of this could benefit us, but this also could disbenefit the Chiefs in the future, and try to swing a trade like this. Alright, the trade is accepted. We are getting 2 firsts and a second next year for exchange of DeAndre Hopkins, which honestly I think this was a very worth it trade for us. Then we're going to go trade our best defensive player I'm going to be trading by a landslide in Kevin Byard. I got no idea what we're going to get for him, but hopefully it's something. Okay, so we could get Jamel Dean in the first and the third. Yeah, he's about to be worth a ton if I can get something like that. We could even get Austin Eckler, who's one of the better running backs in the league. CeeDee Lamb for a 6 next year. Honestly, that is not a bad deal. Like, we could use a receiver, so that isn't a bad one. I just don't think I'm going to accept it. Okay, Carlson Ward in the first and the third. That is going to be hard to pass on. Even St. Brown in a first and a seventh. That's not bad. Like, it seems like a lot of people value him a lot more than I actually wouldn't even value him, to be perfectly honest. Like, I would decline this trade in a heartbeat. No offense to Kevin Byard, but I would not accept that trade. But I'm going to accept that trade because I'm the Titan side. I wouldn't accept it if I was in the Detroit side of things. So, but hey, I'm not gonna complain and have St. Brown, who can definitely help in this rebuild.
This player has a zone ability. This is a
and then our last big player we're going to trade, and Derrick Henry, who I'm assuming is going to be a lot as well. But the question is how much do I want to trade him for? Like, what I want is really the biggest question here. Is how much do I want him, and is it worth the value? Like, Jacoby Myers, his contract is a little iffy, but a first and a second isn't bad. It's just like, the problem is I don't think it's going to work. Danielle Hunter and 2 first-round picks. This might actually work perfectly. Let me explain. So, 2 first-round picks. Obviously, they're amazing. But Danielle Hunter, I could, 1, keep him and hopefully build him around this what's going to be obviously a terrible team. But I can also trade him in a couple of years and then get draft capital in the future. That's what makes that trade extremely interesting. But the problem is I don't want to do it just because if I'm going to trade him right away, I'm not about to be doing that. And the Vikings, you just trade for Cam Akers. I don't think you need Derrick Henry. So you know what? Let's do something interesting here. Let's do what, actually in real life, what the Lions were trying to do. David Montgomery, but instead of a second, a first next year. Obviously, I think this is probably going to be accepted right away, which makes it very obvious I'm not going to just run a trade like that. But let me just tell you what that trade was. So, apparently, it was like a second and then DeAndre Swift. If I was the Lions, I would accept it. Because, no offense to DeAndre Swift, but you're not Derrick Henry. No offense. But you aren't Derrick Henry. Okay, good for him. Yeah, but Derrick Henry is like very, very interesting to say the least. So, what I think I'm going to do is trade him to. I think I really could use a running back, and I also would prefer out of conference, but I don't know if that could happen. So, let's go and trade it to the. I was about to say Rams, but they don't have any cap space. Patriots? I mean, they do like to run the football, but the thing is I don't think they're going to accept 2 first-round picks for exchange of Derrick Henry, which that's what I want. This team is going to accept it because they already have Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, so it would make no sense. I'm not going that because they have a division rivals. Nope. Falcons, no, because they already have Bijan Robinson. Eagles is a possibility. It's just like, this is the only way I would ever accept this trade. 2 first-round picks and Devontae Smith. I am actually genuinely shocked that they actually accept that trade. I did not know that he was that much value. But, okay. A deal's a deal, then. So we got Deontay Smith and St. Brown and Traylon Burks. We pretty much already have our receiving core. And we literally got 2 first-round picks also out of that trade. Let me just mention that real quick. We got 2 first-round picks and Devontae Smith for exchange of Derrick Henry. That is insane. Like, in real life, that would be declined in a heartbeat. But in Madden, it's a different story. The Broncos, they kind of do need D tackles, but I think the team with the biggest need is probably Arizona. So hopefully they would accept just like a second-round pick for exchange of Terry Tart. Not quite, but it was close. But I could throw in just another player because I don't really care at the moment. And we're going to throw in Chris Moore. Chris Moore should be enough to, get the trade done and over with. I really am shocked at somehow some of these trades going through. Herlon Landry, how old is he again? 27. Okay, I could free up $15 million to cut him or trade him. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to trade it to the Vikings. They are trying to get younger and also try to free up cap space, so this doesn't really help for that. But they also do get a pass rusher, so yeah. It is orange. Okay, so, we're getting there. I could throw in one of our corners, and I think I am going to do I want to throw in Christian Fullard? No, I think I'm going to throw in our best corner in Sean Murphy Bunting. And the trade is accepted. I'm not surprised. There are a few other players I want to get rid of in Demarion Archery, and I think that's it. Maybe Milani Hooker, I want to keep him for now, so I think it's just him. I think is the only guy left I don't want on my team anymore. So, yeah. He's 25, that's what I figured. Actually, I could trade RBT. I know we just signed him, but I also kind of don't want him on my team either. Seattle, first round pick for these 2 players. They do need edge rush, but they don't accept it. That's interesting. Okay, we don't really need a first round pick this year. We could scratch that. We don't even really need a first round pick next year. I mean, if they do accept it, I will accept it. But that's not exactly what I need. Okay. But again, that's not exactly what I need. That's the problem. Now, the question is that, do I trade? I don't think I'm going to trade him quite yet, though, but do I consider offering Jeffrey Simmons? He's a great player, don't get me wrong, obviously. Like, he's one of the best D tackles in the league. I think he's actually even underrated, and he's an 89 overall, so that's something to say, but my problem is like, is it going to be enough? I don't know. I am a little upset that they actually accepted that, because I don't really want Devontae Smith on my roster. But that's okay, I guess, but I'm just a little frustrated, that's it. Because I wasn't expecting them at all to accept it. So the fact that they did accept it made it very interesting. Because I kind of wanted, like, I didn't want specifically Devontae Smith just because we already had another receiver, and also Treylon Burks is good enough as is, and they could have just drafted one. And heck, I didn't even really need an around safe round because, again, like I said, I already had other players in plan. So, yeah, and we also could have used, I don't know, an edge rusher. We could used honestly, just any defensive player. Like, yeah, we could use the quarterback, but I want to develop Will Levis just a little bit, and obviously, I don't think he's going to be my starting quarterback. I think that's just facts because, like, I don't know why, but he's rated so harshly, and his depth trait is very harsh as well. He should be a lot higher, not as an as an overall, not even an overall. Well, in overall and in depth trait, I think he should be like in the 70s, and I also think he should also be with star or even superstar dev. Like, people were saying this is going to be one of like a top 5 pick, and now he's dropped all the way to round 2, and now he's 68 overall. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, but that makes no sense. And I did not know he actually was 24 years old. That actually makes a big twist, because I thought he was 25. So that actually throws a completely new twist into the game. Because I didn't know he was 24. I thought he was 25. So that actually gives him another year to potentially have a development. I am going to spend 2 years into seeing how good he is. And unless there's another quarterback, or, like, unless there's a quarterback that I'm not going to can't pass on, or he's probably going to be my starter in year 2 as well. But also, if if he doesn't pan out yet still in year 2, I don't think he's going to probably be the starter. And I think I am going to keep it Tennessee. Actually, before we head in to the rest of the season, I am going to try to move around all of our linebackers and also our scheme. We did end up being insane, so that's a bit interesting. So we ended up signing like 3 free agents. I'm assuming one of them might be quarterback.
These players are on the
Oh,
last year
got
of their
Kyle Van
contract.
Noy, which made no sense because I changed my scheme. But look at the players we're going to sign, well, or going to leave in free agency. There isn't really anybody I want to bring back. Outside of maybe Christian Fuller, because I do think he could be a nice CB2, even third option, really. But that's probably it. So don't keep your highs up, or don't get your hopes up. But it is nice though to at least win the first game. Again, are we playoff contenders? Probably not, but we do still have a talented Devontae Smith. I swear to God, I think got hurt, and I'm honestly very surprised. He's already gotten hurt, and week 1 literally just started. The only thing I am going to change is our defensive playbook, and that is going to change into KC's defensive playbook. I've run Niners before. It obviously works. Like, it's one of the better ones to work. But I think KC's is just a smidge better, in my opinion. So, yeah. Kyle Van Noy is very frustrating to get hurt. But again, I just didn't want him on my roster, so I'm not going to complain. Yeah, Savonte Smith is hurt. For how long, though? Oh, he's just out for 1 week. Okay, that's fine. Let me just, like... What do I want to focus my scouts on? I don't really think I need to worry about that at the moment. But we're going to simulate... You know what? Let's simulate, like, a couple of games. And it's going to give me my decision of... Are we going to be in the playoffs? Because this team can make it to the playoffs. I honestly feel like it could. Because we have amazing receivers. We have amazing defensive players. Like... So I want to, like, simulate a couple weeks and just see what our record is. And I also kind of just want to get our signings done and over with. So, yeah. Kyle Van Noy, he isn't bad
Choose
right
from 4
now,
recent
but he's
offers
going
with
to
Range.
progress or he's going to retire. And it's literally one of the two. Well, it's actually both, maybe. So I think I am going to wait until week 7. I'm a bit curious to see how the season goes for us. We just recently just kind of got killed to the Chargers, so that's interesting. I also hope we get a breakout player in Jeffrey Simmons or Christian Fuller, because both of those players really could use better depth traits. Jeffrey Simmons just to even prove it more that he's just a generational talent. And in Christian Fuller, just to get started, really be nice, to be honest. The Browns beat us. QB check-in. I don't really care. But our division hasn't really been playing so well as well. Like, none of our teams are undefeated at the moment. Jaguars have only lost once, so... Honestly, there's still a chance we can make it to the postseason. Obviously, again, this is just week 3, so... Yeah, but I am going to be... Like, that should be a good game, though. Titans and Browns, like, that should be a good game. Even before not Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb got out for the year, but now I think it's more likely it's going to be the Titans. One injury. Who is it? Okay, what in the hell is this? We have the most injury roster I've ever seen. Caleb Phillips, I'm pretty sure he was on IR, but Caleb Farley, though, is very interesting. Let me mention him real quick. Caleb Farley is a very interesting player. Okay. First off, his injury history should not be, like, he should not be a 75 injury. I'm just going to point that out there. Plain and simple. I think it's more 80... You know what? 79. 79. But Caleb Farley, like, he could be a very good corner if he just stayed healthy. If he could just stay healthy for, like, a couple of seasons and prove he can actually be a good corner, I think that's good enough to give him a contract extension and not make him extinct into the NFL like some players have because of injuries, unfortunately. But I like the fact that injuries exist. Obviously, I don't want players to get hurt, but it also gives people opportunities to, I don't know, be on the roster or something like that. Just to throw it out there. So far, though, we are 2-3, so we aren't playing bad, but we also haven't been playing good, and we also just won against, like, the Chargers, I think. I think it was the Chargers. No, I don't think it was the Chargers. It was, the Saints and the Colts. So, haven't really gone
Here your
against a really good
teams
team
quickly review
yet.
the league's top performers.
But let's just see, like, how good are we so far? Sure. Yeah, so our offense, unsurprisingly, has not played good. 1 interception, 5 touchdowns. Honestly, I thought he was going to throw a little bit more touchdowns, but also interceptions. So I guess I'm not going to complain. Tyree Spears, I still think I need to see a bit more in him. Again, I don't know if he's my starting running back yet, so we're going to wait on that. Yeah, Devontae Smith apparently is his best friend at receiver. Yeah, this is even coming from him missing a game, and yet he has more receptions, more yards, and more touchdowns than St. Brown. Heck, even Treylon Burks has been doing alright, which I think is very interesting. And Andre Dillard is just allowing every freaking sack in every game. Okay. But wow. I was about to say Jeffrey Steven has 3 sacks, but no. It's Rashawn Weaver with the most sacks in 3. I did not expect that. I mean, I really didn't. So we have 4 interceptions, and most of them are from players I've never heard of before. Jack Gibbons, Karen Doro, and Mike Brown are those players. Monty Hooker I've heard before. But so our offense has been just horrendous. It's been terrible. But our defense has been kind of mid, so that's nice. We're going against the Ravens 4-1. Honestly, my expectations is to hopefully keep the game close, but not too close. And also not win the game, obviously. Yep, that's kind of what I figured. Except I did think it was going to be a bit closer. 26-7. Again, our defense has been that bad. It's just our offense is kind of slowing us down. Christian Fuller, I would like to bring him on a 2-year pack. I will be giving him a lot more money than apparently he's even asking. You know what? Let me say the low risk. Except just significantly up the money, and it's going to be a 2-year pack. I'm really curious to see if he wants to accept this or not. Yep, he likes the contract, so. Yeah, I'm not going to complain. Then, I would like to keep him, but I am obviously going to move him at outside linebacker because I just feel like it's the best for him. And he is back, alright. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. What the frick? Alright, there we go. Alright. So, we pretty much got all of our things done. I guess after looking at all of this, I don't think we're making it to the postseason. But I don't think we're going to be absolutely terrible to the point we're getting a first overall pick, which I think is kind of bad, but I also don't think it's quite bad either. So, I guess I take that, but I don't know. What's up with most of our receivers that I traded can't stay healthy? Obviously, again, it's just he has a broken finger, and you're really saying he's out for 1 week? Really? Like, I honestly, like, imagine, it's kind of like a quarterback if they, like, it's the same thing with their quarterback breaking a finger. Like, obviously, if it was, like, a deep lineman or a corner, it wouldn't matter so much because they don't really use their fingers that often. But, like, a receiver who needs their fingers to catch the ball, and their quarterback who uses fingers, I don't know, throw the football, that would be terrible. So that's why he should be out more than, I don't know, 3 weeks. That's a long freaking time. But, I mean, hey, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that's what it should be. But yeah, St. Brown is kind of having an injury history too, and that's kind of sad. This is what I gotta say. I gotta say hi. So quarterback, wide receiver, and corner. All of these are positions of needs except receiver now. Because I'm an idiot and decided to trade for 2 freaking receivers. But, yeah, but I did pick quarterback just in case. Just in case. I'm not going to 100% get a quarterback. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to. Edward Carlson. Or Caldwell, I should say. He looks like a freaking angel. Obviously, his injury history is a bit of concern. Same thing with stamina, but I'll just upgrade that, I guess. But besides that, I don't think I really have a concern. He's guaranteed. Look, he's guaranteed to get an end zone. I don't think he's not going to. And then B, I would say B or C in man. And kick return, I honestly wouldn't care. And hit power, I don't really care. So a lot of his stuff I don't really care about, except for his like awareness, zone, and man, because that really does judge how good a corner is. Same thing, I guess, with speed and stuff like that. But Jonathan Hutchins, I think, is an interesting quarterback. So I think I could consider taking him. I don't think he's 100% going to be a guy who I want to take, but certainly could be a possibility. Greg O'Neal's also like, he's not amazing as an athlete, unlike Jonathan Hutchinson, but he does have very good accuracy at least. And he also should be faster than some of the other quarterbacks in his class, so that's something just to point out, but that's not going to mean anything. So, yeah, I'm going to probably simulate it to the off season. I don't think we're going to make it to the playoffs, which again is okay. I'm not expecting to go to the playoffs, but just hopefully we don't like win a lot of games and miss the postseason, and then so yeah. It's good. Okay. So apparently we made it to the postseason. But it's not in the way you think. We went 7-10. Yes, we went 7-10 and made it to the postseason. We actually won in our first game in the postseason just to lose right away against the Bills. So this is actually really interesting because I was expecting to make it to the playoffs. I don't think anybody expected us to make it to the postseason watching this video, obviously. But it's kind of interesting to say the least. So I'm a little curious to see how this could go. But I'll go check everybody's stats later. So Puka Nuka, I honestly won't be surprised he ends up winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because he's already heading in as, honestly, one of the best receivers in terms of fantasy. Obviously, again, this is fantasy, but still, it's something to put into account. So, again, we still have the second worst offense, which I think is actually very interesting. But we actually had a top 5 defense. So that's interesting. Our quarterback, he did alright. Don't know if he's a starter yet, but he did alright. Tyrant Spears and Julius Chestnut both did respectively decent. Devontae Smith with over 1,000 yards. St. Brown being very disappointing so far. Our O-line, yeah, we need to fix the interior. Well, we kind of need to fix everywhere, just in general. Jeffrey Simmons with 13 sacks. Rashawn Wather, though, with 7.5. That's interesting. But, hey, I'll take it. Monty Hooker and Azeez Al-Shar all had 3 interceptions. 2 interceptions for Jack Gibbons and Kendall Arger. And Monty Rice, Elijah Molden, and Mike Brown 1. Very interesting to say the least, but I am very curious to see if anybody else I might want to sign heading into free agency.
Welcome to your franchise staff. Here staff points when you some talent trees make you select a path. View a player's motivation. You have 3 evaluation periods with each.
I'm gonna do this video at a different time, guys. Bye.